remember when we rode a pump the first time, angry cause I didn't buy enough. So I bought it all the way up to the top, cause I said I needed more. Laughing at my family and friends, cause they kept telling me that it was a scam. But then it retraced about 80%, and I held on, I hodl, I sold at the bottom. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I sold the dip again last night, and ooh, ooh, ooh. This time, I'm telling you, we are never, ever, ever selling back to Tether. We are never, ever, ever selling back to Tether. We've got lots of bitcoins, lots of shit coins, watch them bleed. But we are never, ever, ever, ever selling back to Tether.
And then I bought it all back higher.
I swore I'd never hodl it again, so I sold it when it hit like 7 grand. Then I bought it back at 12 and then again at 15, then bought more at 18. You might call me crazy, but ooh, ooh, ooh. I sold the dip again last night, and ooh, ooh, ooh. This time, I'm telling you, we are never, ever, ever selling back to Tether. We are never, ever, ever selling back to Tether. We've got lots of bitcoins, lots of shit coins, watch them bleed. But we are never, ever, ever, ever selling back to Tether.
Hello everybody, hope you are doing well and welcome to this trading stream that I got for you today. We got a lot to cover. There has been a Coinbase hack. Coinbase has been officially hacked. There's millions lost in the hack. I'm in a long trade on Bitcoin. I'm looking for higher amongst all the fear, all of the, the scaredness. Starting off with a banger there to get you started with the tunes. We're back, old school style. Absolutely loving it. I hope that you're all doing very well. I'm super pleased with everything, with these charts, with the wonderful profits, and what is to come next. My friends, let me show you this super hyping background, which I am absolutely loving too. I've got it all set up. I've got it all prepared. We are, what I'm going to be doing when you could, without even speaking, when I'm bearish and I'm in a short, we're going to go for the big reds. And when I'm bullish and green like I am now, we're going to go for those big green candles. You see that, my friends? That's what we're aiming for right now. We are long, strong, green, and happy. So yeah, smash up those likes, everybody. Get those likes smashed. We're going to go over into the charts, go over why I am long, what we're looking at next, and we're going to bring it back to a cool vibe in the background. Look at that. Ooh. Happy. I hope you are too, my friends. Let's bring it over here. Look at this. Look at this. So yeah, in a 2 Bitcoin long trade at the moment. So around $200,000 on that long. Still long on my good old Solana as well. And I want to talk you through, first of all, the reasons behind this. I think it was a very good reading of the market. If I say so myself, before I say that myself, I'll put it down to you. I'll show what I posted in my group while we were trading at the lows with full fear. I've been maintaining my opinion that we are going to see a rise on price on Bitcoin without any major drop, which maintains the pattern of the bull trend, and many left on the sidelines waiting for the big dip, which is not coming yet. Of course, though, New York opened a little bit on the bearish side. Market wanted to come down and take out $100,000. Then you had the Coinbase hack. Okay, how many of you have seen about this? This was the Coinbase hack. This is Brian Armstrong, the CEO, talking about it. Coinbase tweeting about it. So yeah, there was that going on as well. And amongst all of this, after only being listed on the S&P 500 for 2 days, Coinbase getting hacked is just like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But this is my recipe. This is what I love. This is what I live for, right? When I was taking the short at $105,000, what was it? It was full FOMO. Everybody's super bullish, looking for higher. I sniped the short trade from the very high. Well, fast forwards, a week later, we're trading down at $101,000 and we've got the full reversal. We got the hacks. We got the full fear. And I loved the absorption in the order flow. We were actually seeing some of the biggest bullish divergences. Really, really, really nice big bullish divergences. Let me show you this. If it will load while we're here on stream. There we go. There we are. There we are. There we are. Look at this, my friends. Look at the massive bullish divergences. That was like lighting up to my eyes. And look at all the shorts within this. 5.5 million shorts, 9.8 million shorts. Here we saw 4.3 million shorts at the lows. And so this is me thinking to myself, we got the hack, we got the absorption. Everybody and their mother's looking for below $100,000 right now. So I took the long trade. Simple as that. Go and check the timestamps, check everything, verify, do not trust, verify the information you can see here. And if you don't believe, go and check it yourself. 20 past 4, I'm telling my team I'm taking the long trade, I'm locking in my longs. And you have to remember, it's very easy in hindsight. Now we've seen a 2% pump to the upside, but while I'm taking that trade, nobody or very few people are thinking that's going to work out. Thinking, oh, wow, this guy's crazy. He's taking a long. There's just been a hack. Everybody's super bearish. Everybody's looking for below $100,000. But I trade my plan. I see the charts. And my friends, this is how it ends. Now, $3,000 in just an hour. Wonderful, wonderful, big, big profits here to be made in this market when you read it. And so, yeah, you can tell I'm enjoying myself. I closed my $105,000 short trade from that value area high also. So I closed my shorts, took my longs, and then it took an hour, but that pump came. I correctly read the market there. And again, this is, to show you that everything that you need to know is in the charts. Everything that you need to know, I will teach you. Truly, everything that you need to know, I will teach, along with Severin and Igor. The team here at Chart Champions, we've got you covered on everything that you need. And yeah, so the real reading on this was, just to summarize before we move on, I want to summarize here. It was the absorption. The order flow is showing me massively big bullish divergences. It's then we got a hack. We got the most bearish news that people love to talk about. It's a hack. Oh, this is so scary. We got the Coinbase hack. We got everybody thinking this is going to break down. Look at it. It's so close to the range low. Woo! Going to be locking in a take profit here, my friends. That is right up into the point of control. So I will take, 0.2% Bitcoin. I am happy with that first take profit. There we go. Locked in a nice $250 there. So, yeah, I saw it all. And then, at this point of time, everybody is so convinced this is breaking down lower. Everybody's super convinced. That's it. We're coming down to the range low. We're coming to $100,000. Now's the time. And so when you get this, psychological perspective of just once you truly understand the market, I suppose, yeah, you make these trade decisions with full confidence. I think you can all tell, right? My confidence is high, and I made this tweet, and I want to talk you through this tweet very briefly. But it was this: when I'm happy and really vibing at my computer, I take the best trades. I was talking about this in a AMA yesterday for the champions. And it was, environment is everything. If you surround yourself with good people, if you are truly happy with your personal life, you come onto these charts and you see things that nobody else sees. I mean, if I was depressed today, if I was sad, if I had been going through something really bad, I'm telling you, I would have missed the trade. I would have made the wrong decision. I would have shorted at the low. But because I'm so happy, positive, guided, I saw that. I just felt the trades. And it's that environment and that, that positivity that, is such a massive factor when it comes to trading, right? Technical analysis, 40% of it. Your environment, how you surround yourself, how you approach the charts, the emotions, the mindset, the psychology, 60% of it. More important than the technical analysis, I really believe. I see the comments, just love Jesus, yep. We got the Jesus chain. Shout out to Jesus. No, I'm super happy. And yeah, man, like, let's see if we get any sort of a bearish pullback then off of this point of control, shall we? So, wow, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just share the love, share the excitement, share with you all what's possible in this market, right? I want to try and inspire you. I want to show you really what you can do in this market. Yeah, that's what we're doing here every day, right? So we are, I don't know if this is happening to everyone. We're getting a little bit of lag. So I have around half an hour. Here. So we'll try and get through as much as possible. If this volume profile can actually load. Hello. Come in. TradingView lag. Is TradingView lagging super hard for anybody else right now? So let's take a look at this then, shall we? So we're seeing a little bit of longs opening up into the high. So we got a little bit of longs opening up right now. We are all-time high, but our last high anchored VWAP back above. We're obviously going to be above this one too. So we got really nice support now, which should be support at around $103,000. So I would say key level right now for me is $103,000. Really wouldn't want to see that lost. Let's see, our correlated markets, super happy about the stock market. You all know I'm really, truly am one of the biggest stock market bulls in the world. Would always refer to, love being bullish on the stock market. Lovely to see the stock market super bullish right now. Even seeing a rise back on gold. Yeah, the market is primed here. I'm not going to be taking any short trades. So this was a level of interest that I had of a potential short off the point of control. But as it stands, nothing here is telling me to short. We're coming up into the previous day value area high now. But, yep, no reason for a short here. Open interest. Open interest fairly flat on this last bit of the move. But we're still seeing a lot of delta coming up into this. There's not a weakness here. So, very content, very happy with all this. Let me ask you, what are you thinking about the backgrounds? I've put in a lot of effort onto this. Been like finding all the stuff, thinking, oh man, I want to make it look cool. This is what we came up with. I'm pretty content with the lights. I think they look kind of cool. I like this one. But yeah, we're super green and bullish right now. Yeah, while we're looking at this, while we're waiting, I'm super bullish. So yeah, I had an option of shorting the point of control, and this is why I always say, my friends, I would always say trade the reaction, right? If you preset the limit order short at the point of control, you're already $1,000 underwater. If you preset your limit orders at the point of control, you are already losing your trade. So don't you see, it makes much more sense to have an alert. The alert goes off. We looked at it. We saw the order flow still bullish. There was nothing slowing us down at the point of control. So we trade the reaction. There is no reaction, so there is no short trade to be taken. You continue to look for higher prices. That's what we do. That's the way we trade. That's how I teach. It's how I preach. It's how I trade myself, right? So that's why I did not take the short off the point of control. Again, happy to lock in 10% profit. But yeah, not taking any short trade there. Not to say I will not. Again, I'm a reactionary trader. 5 minutes time, we might have new data. We might lose the point of control, and we might have seen some weakness into the highs. But yeah, that's we got to take it a step at a time, of course. But yeah, very happy with this so far. Happy to do some AMA as well type thing. If anyone has a question, I will happily answer it for you all. Yeah, this stream is to educate, to help out the best I can with the time that we have here. So yeah, I really want to just talk you through the charts, give you any help that I can. Any questions, drop them now, and we will go through them for you all. So first question that we have, I am looking at you, and the question is, when Nvidia all-time highs? Oh, my friends, Nvidia all-time highs. Oh, I would love that to be pretty soon. I am massively bullish on Nvidia. I am expecting Nvidia all-time highs. I am long and positioned for all-time highs to come on Nvidia. All my longs around $90 Nvidia. We come down. I actually will show you the charts, I suppose. Makes more sense. Continued strength here on Bitcoin right now. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. But yeah, this was honestly one of the easiest long trades. You might say, oh, very easy to say it was one of the easiest long trades now. But, I made several posts about this over on Twitter or X, however you want to call it. I will also try and find some posts within the group where I was looking for NVDA, just because I will always, show you. So yeah, here you go. This was the Nvidia stuff. So back in all April, looking for Nvidia to $90. Why was I looking for the $90? Well, it was very simply because you had this very, very, very big and important point of control. So it was a simple case actually of just thinking to myself, well, that is an epic long opportunity if I've ever seen one. I really wanted to see it drop below $100. As referenced on Twitter, would be such a great opportunity to see Nvidia below $100. Would love to see a little mini bear market to go below $100 so I can just load up on as many long-term swing trades as possible. Then thank Trump. He gave us a mini bear market. He gave us the tariff scares. We saw things like Nvidia drop below $100 for the most biggest epic long trades in the world. You saw Solana. Look at this. Solana long. Have a guess where from, my friends. $100 Solana long. Why? Because these big psychological numbers, you take out $100, everybody gets scared, everybody gets fearful. It's going to go lower, it's going to go lower, it's going to go lower. That's when I'm buying. That's where I'm extracting $7,000 off of that trade at the moment on Solana. And that's where I loaded up, of course, much bigger on the Nvidia. It's having a plan. It's waiting for the drops, and then it's executing on those plans while everybody else around is talking about more and more and more to the downside. That's when you got to execute. So whether it's on a bigger term time frame, Nvidia $90, Solana back down to $100, now trading at $170, or whether it's on the lower term time frames like today, oh, it's the hack, oh, I'm so scared. Whether it's the big term time frame, the low term time frame, this psychology and fear in the market is when you get the best opportunities. But also, of course, that best opportunity that come, for example, today, is that hardest time to long because everybody around you is so fearful. So in that regards, it's the hardest long to take because you're going to be doubting yourself the most because of all the fear around you. And that's when you get the best opportunities, my friends. I'm always going to be a bit more skeptical, to be honest with you. If I'm looking for a long and everybody else is super, super bullish, I'm going to be a bit like, I'm not so keen on the long. But if everyone around me is bearish and I see the long, oh man, that's music to my ears. My eyes light up green and I'm like, this is going to be a very, very, very nice trade. It's the same when I'm looking for the shorts, right? When I shorted $105,000, everyone around me super bullish. Well, that's music to my ears. I'll happily look for the shorts while everyone else is super bearish. Basically counter trade the majority of the people. So yeah, that's what we got going on here. Let me see. So yeah, my answer to that question, my friends, is I am looking for new all-time highs. Somebody says, have you redone your course content? are correct. Chart Champions, we have actually done a full revamp of our content, by the way. So when you come over to the video library now, the courses section now, you will see we've got brand new sections. All videos have been remastered in the sense of everything in new sections. It's a lot better laid out. The videos which are in each course, the progression of the course now is, I just feel, making a lot more sense. Before, we were just, the videos were, you know, of course, we are putting it together while making it, whereas now we've got a full course. We were able to reorganize and put ones into the right progressions, right? So you're not learning about something, we're not talking about something in a video when you haven't learned about it, etc., etc., etc. So we put in, you know, there was a lot of hours and time put into redesigning this in terms of the layout of which lessons need to go first, etc. So yeah, we've done all of that now. So yeah, thanks for noticing, and good to see that people notice the small details there, and so yeah, that's all being redone. Let me see another question that we have here. Question: do I think Pepe can make all-time highs? So Pepe is another one that I have been long-term long on. So I am, let's say, a very bullish on Pepe in that regards. So let's find a Pepe chart here. But Pepe, I think absolutely I'm bullish on, but it's still got a long way to go to all-time highs. But I do not think it's not impossible in that regards, but we got some really key levels above us to be aware of. But yeah, I am long on Pepe, and you know, of course, I'm going to love to see a new all-time high, but there are some very, very key levels of resistance to be aware of here. If we take a Fibonacci from the high down to the low and put on the CC template, you can see the top of the CC not log is right into the point of control of the previous range. So this for me just stands out like really, really big resistance. So this is a really, really key level. So my answer is, you know, do I believe Pepe can go to all-time highs? Yes, absolutely I do. Very important to understand that my longs are from much lower. I'm already in several 100% of profit on Pepe. So, you know, would I long right now? No, you know, to be honest, right now on Pepe into the daily resistance level, not my preferred long, right? Doesn't mean I don't think we can go higher. I would absolutely love to see Pepe go higher, but I do feel it's at a little bit of a resistance here. So, you know, my preferred scenario, because I am long on Pepe, is, yeah, let's see it go higher. But if I was in no trade type scenario, or, you know, what would be the way that I would look to trade this next? Well, I would naturally prefer in that regards a pullback before another increase in price. Right, that then gives us another opportunity to load up on a pullback, right? I'm never going to be looking for longs after the pump's already happened. You know, if a pump happens without me, I miss the trade. Who cares? There's always another one. That's the end of the story. Okay, but if a price pulls back within the trend, it's a nice opportunity again. And so that's why, yeah, I would say I'd wait for the pullback on Pepe, and you can see the importance that we have all and around the 0.01. That's a previous resistance support flip. We got some very big important anchored VWAPs on that. We have the old weekly, which was a resistance for a long time. So for me, you know, this is, you know, that's the zone where I would say next massive opportunity. I do think Pepe can go to all-time highs, yes, but I wouldn't open along where we are here. It's just like not the best real. You don't really have an entry trigger. You are into local resistance, so that would be my answer. What are you talking about? That's my king. I've been listening to some Christian music today. Got me super excited. I'm not going to lie, it gets me in the mood as well. La, 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 ba, da, ba, da, ba. Yeah, but I'm not doing karaoke for you all. That karaoke is for the late night streams. Right, let's see if I got another question. You know, I'm just happy to do the questions while we're just waiting here on BTC. So let's see if I have another question here. Well, I mean, I do have a lot of questions. Let's see which one we'll take. Funny. What do I think of Atom? You know what, my friends? Atom. For me, these old altcoins, you know, I was actually, funnily enough, talking about this today in the Champions as well, in general chat. You know, these coins like Atom, Dot, Tezos, ICX, these old coins, I think, you know, I really class them as, like, you know, pretty dead, to be honest with you. Like, you know, could Atom or Dot ever pump again? I mean, yes, but my friends, this is not what I want to be focusing on. You know, this is not where I think I'm going to make lots of profits, right? You know, if you're longing Atom or you're longing Dot, you know, there's just so much better opportunities, honestly. You know, I mean it with the best heart. I think Atom and Dot are not the place to be looking for opportunities. Look at the chart, my friends. This is just such a dead altcoin. And you might say, well, it's got a pump at some point. But, you know, I've been hearing people say that. You look at this is the last 3 years right here. People have been saying, oh, it's got a pump for the past 3 years. And what's it done? It's just gone down and down and down and down and down. So, you know, do I think, you know, have I got any interest in Dot or Atom? No. You know, the interesting coins are the coins that I'm long on right now, and not just because of that reason, but because they're showing life. Look at this, Pepe, oh, a coin I'm very bullish on. Bonk, a coin I'm very bullish on. You see the difference between Bonk and you see the difference with these types of coins versus coins like Atom. You know, this is so dead. How boring to be trying to trade this coin. And then I look at Bonk and I'm like, wow, how exciting, how full of life this coin is. In the past few weeks alone, this coin is up hundreds of percent. This is 180% pump to the upside on Bonk. And Atom... Ooh, yay, Atom with a really strong 10% pump to the upside. Wow. You know, you see what I mean? Like, I wouldn't waste, I don't think there's much opportunities in those types of coins. Yeah, you're just hoping that it pumps, but that's not trading, my friends. So, I wouldn't kind of, you know, have too much holding of breath on those types of coins. What is your settings in the fixed volume profile? Yes, I will give you these settings right now. Here you go. You can take a print screen, pause, copy of these. Smash the likes. Yes, absolutely smash those likes. Never say never. I do have to say that. Yeah, goes without saying. Yeah, never. Of course, maybe Atom and Dot and these types of coins pump one day. You know, of course they absolutely can. I'm not saying that they're never going to pump. What I'm saying, okay, is the opportunity cost here. You know, I could be waiting another year on this coin to pump, you know, because it's just down and down and down and down and down. Whereas at least when we're looking at coins like Pepe, we are genuinely trading with strength. We are genuinely seeing good setups. You know, this is a good setup. You know, market structure's changed. It's seen strength. It's got a very clear run to all-time highs. All-time highs. You know, this is a clear, good, high probability trades. Whereas when you compare it to Atom, my friends, oh my God, look at this. To get to all-time highs, we're talking about 3,000% pumps to the upside. We're talking about a coin with no strength. We're talking about a coin with no life in it. That's not what I call good opportunities for high probability trades. That's what I call a good gamble. You are gambling on this coin. Pepe, you're trading high probabilities. So yeah, can Atom pump? Yeah, it could pump, but it's a bit of a gamble. It's not really a good trade. So there, that would be my opinions. And Cosmos, if you want to sponsor this video, drop me a DM. Yeah, drop me a DM, Atom, right? I'm your prime candidate. For the people that don't know, that is clearly sarcasm. Dot is, here we go. Someone in the chat is saying Dot is going to be a banger. Multi-year accumulation. It's going to get a massive pump. Hey, there's some believers. Love to see it. So who knows? I'd love for you to be right, my friends. I'd love for you to make your profits. Let me see if we have any questions. People love to do. Somebody's saying, "How is my short doing from $105,000?" People love to get in the little knife in the back, right? How is my short doing from $105,000? My friend, you missed it. My short was closed from $105,000. I'm out of it for full profit. So, yeah, I'm not sure what you're on about, but yeah, my short from 105,000 was closed for profit. So my short, well, I can't really tell you how it's doing because I don't know it anymore. Somebody says, when is there going to be another discount on Chart Champions subscription? Well, if I'm honest, not soon. We have no discounts planned or anything like that. So, let me see. Okay, so this is a good question. What is a good time frame to look at the footprint chart? And I think I have two opinions on this. Number one is the 30-minute chart. So if you're looking at footprint, if you're looking at TPO, order flow, 30-minute chart is a nice time frame to be looking at. Okay, so the 30-minute, you can see here, I'm on the 5-minute. But I do enjoy the 30-minute as well, right? That's my default go-to. So really depends on what you're looking at in the time. But 30-minute down to 5-minute is my preferred two time frames, I would say. So 30-minute, my go-to. Then if I'm looking for really low-term time frame stuff, I'll come down to the 3 to 5-minute chart. At times though, I will swap this over to a volume chart, so not based off of time, and then I'll be generally, it depends on the volume of the day, right? But anywhere between 5 and 20 million. So basically, then you do not look at time, but every candle is printed by, for example, here every candle is 10 million. So this is a very, very good way. Again, I'm hiding all the information for you here. There you go. In the top left, you see volume 10 million chart. Alguien me dice, hola Daniel, ¿qué pasa con Coinbase? So basically Coinbase went through a hack. But Coinbase basically went through a hack. Let me try and find an actual news article for you all here. So here is some very big news articles about it if you want to do some research on this. But yeah, this is from today. So today, just a few hours ago, Coinbase got hacked. Basically all customer data was stolen. I actually saw, Cointelegraph, this is crazy, right? I am very thankful not to have an account on Coinbase. I deleted my Coinbase account years ago. But look at this. If you've got a Coinbase account, now your name, address, government ID, account data, man, this is seriously bad. Like really, 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 really bad. Just imagine that you're a high net worth individual and your address, name, phone, government ID, your account holdings have just been leaked. Yeah, you probably want to look into moving house or getting some pretty good security ASAP. This is awful. Very, very dangerous. Super dangerous, actually. Very, very, very dangerous. So awful hack. Yeah, Coinbase, super bad. Very, very, very bad. Yeah, that is awful, to be honest with you. Yeah, that literally can ruin lives, like for real. Honestly, think about it. You are in a position where truly just by this, you are in a position where you actually have to move house. You know, that's truly tearing apart families. It's really, really, really bad. Or you put in some super high security, you know, one of two options, but it's really awful, actually. But I suppose most high net worth individuals probably already have good security, but nevertheless, I wouldn't be happy about that. So yeah, that's what happened with Coinbase. So desafortunadamente, si tuviera una cuenta con Coinbase, malas noticias, porque todos sus datos ya están con los hackers y quién sabe a quién van a vender esa información. Muy mal del parte de Coinbase, la verdad. Yo no tengo cuenta con Coinbase, gracias a Dios. Y sí, if you have an account with Coinbase, man, I think that would be giving me some very big warning signs. But anyway, I suppose the moral of the story is really, really, really protect your data at all costs. Really be careful where you sign up to, I suppose. Like, really, really bad, isn't it? So yeah, Coinbase, I mean, Bitcoin for me here, still looking good. Still not took a short, nothing bearish here on the order flow. You know, I've been waiting, I've been here, I've been happy to do something if something happens. I was looking for maybe a potential short here, but no signs yet to short. So of course I'm not going to. I do not take a trade just to take a trade. I take a trade only to make profits. And so I do not see a profit trade here, so I'm not taking it yet. Have to say the new video organization is amazing. Thank you, Lars. We're super happy as well with the new organization. A few little shout outs, I suppose, that I'll give here. The first one will be that you can come over to the Chart Champions website, click on blog up here, and we got a whole Chart Champions blog now. We got the Mupwick, we got information about triangle patterns, we got member interviews. So these are really, really, really interesting interviews where you can come in and see, you know, some really good advice, good stories from people just like yourselves that have come into Chart Champions, learned from the ground up, and, you know, really making some very, very good trades now. And so, yeah, we got some really, really nice blog articles here, to be honest with you. Look at this. I was doing trial trades after 8 months. I was in 37% profit, but it got him hooked. This guy then went from lose 10,000, throw 10,000, lose it all. So he went from a situation which is so common, and that's why it's good to listen to these stories. You know, this guy went from losing, blowing up accounts, trading bad, to turning himself around, and now look at the consistent results the guy is making. This is James. Met James in Dubai, a very cool guy, and there it is. There we are with James. That is me with James and Scott with James. Like, It's like, this is why we like to put together, and with that I can say, go over to the blog, really, really nice articles that we've got written here for you all. This is not AI, this is all written by humans. And on top of that, shout out to the event, little plug, we got the events page. So if you wonder what is the events of Chart Champions, come over to the events page. We've got a countdown to our next event, which is going to be in Europe. It's going to be in Porto. You can see information about the old London events. So we've done our event in London. Let's take a little glimpse back in time. Look at this. This was the champions out in London. These are the members that come out to view us over here in London. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This was me talking them through the charts. Look at this. Wonderful memories. Good audience. Love to connect. And from London, we learnt and we grew it for Dubai. And look at the turnout we had in Dubai. Amazing. Just connecting with people. We had a gala event. It's like having a good time. People making friends, people making memories. And, we really are loving it. And now, maybe you meet your future wife at the event. Look at this woman. Oh, wow. Wow. That's a lucky guy right there. But yeah. Maybe you meet your wife here, or maybe you just make some very good friends. However it is, we're running the event again this year. It's in Porto, and we've already sold a lot of tickets, so there's not long left before it fully sells out. But if you're interested in that, that's available also via the Champions. So we're not just talking through live trading. We're not just educating you, but we truly are building a family, a real community feel where people support each other, help them out, build real, honest, good friendships. So yeah, we got a bit of everything for you, to be honest, at Chart Champions. And we got, of course, the most important thing, the wonderful profits that come through the understanding of being a champion. So yeah, order flow, my friends. Again, I'll only take a trade if it shows me that it will end in profits. I do not see a short trade here that ends in profits, so I'm not going to take one. I'll remain in my longs. Simple as that, right, my friends? There we go. Let's see what last few comments we have in here. I actually have to run in 5-10 minutes, so I'm not going to be able to in this video look at Dogecoin, but I might take a look at that in my next video. Happy to do that. Where do I see the order flow and volume? I'm looking at this right now in Exo charts, but in Chart Champions we have a full vault library, templates for Quant Tower, Atus, and of course Exo charts. That's Exo Web, Exo Desktop. We got the templates if you want to. We just got everything already done for you, basically. You can say thank you. We put in hundreds of hours of work to build all this. And here we are, just on a download file for you right there. Look at that. Continue to rise in price. Bitcoin makes another new high. Anybody that shorted stopped out. This is the absolute power of order flow. Imagine that you had shorted here. Imagine that you had shorted the high. You would have now been stopped out as Bitcoin has just made another new high. That's the importance of reading the order flow. There was nothing bearish. There was no reason to short and only reason to look for higher again. That's what I'd done. And higher again has came. And, this right here, my friends, is the power of order flow. Reading the order flow is very, very, very powerful. Chart Champions is the only membership any trader needs. No BS, just pure education and mentorship. I appreciate such wonderful feedback and comment there. And I agree, we are the one-stop shop for everything you need. You don't need anybody else. Dan, a personal question. How did you find God? Asking because I'm seeking. This is something I would also love to share with you all. I'm more than happy to share with you. But again, I'm too low on time right now. I have 5 minutes. That's one that I need to to share in a very big testimony video, to be honest with you, because I do think it is a good testimony. But I will just say this before I end. My friends, I was the biggest atheist ever. I was a massive, massive, massive atheist. And that also when you take into consideration this, and I am a very big believer now that I was a massive atheist. Truly. I would make fun of believers. I thought, this is fairy tales. This is all fake. So I was a massive atheist. And on top of that, I have all of the wealth, money in the world. And there is a saying, I will not quote the exact saying, but I will paraphrase here. It's easier to thread it's easier to do a really, 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 really hard task than lead a rich man to God. Let me actually find a quote, because this, I think, is very there we go, my friends. And I say it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. And so I think this is kind of like a cool testimony, my experience itself, but also when I really have to be honest with you and say I was a massive atheist. It is genuinely hard to get, wealthy people to find God. Why? Because not even necessarily super wealthy people, but just a lot of people in general, everything you think can be fixed with money, right? You have a health problem. Oh, I've got money to fix it. I've got this problem. I've got money to fix it. I've got that problem. I've got money to fix it. And people worship their money, especially in Europe. Okay, especially in Europe and these types of countries and Great Britain, where I'm from. It's hard to find Christians. And, when I compare it to example, when I go to South America, there's a lot more believers in South America simply because people in South America cannot use money to fix their problems. They look to their faith. And so that's where my perspective of why it's so hard for a rich person to find God, because you have money and you think this is fixing of everything. And so, yeah, I had actually an experience one time where Jesus or God, in this regards, spoke directly to me. I had a vision. I had several prophecies, actually, several revelations given to me, which then just was like, Jesus is real. This is real. I cannot deny it after this experience. It was a life-changing experience. And really, 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 I want to explain it in more detail, but really my testimony is very, very, powerful when I think it's very nice testimony. But I do not have time for it in the rest of this video, unfortunately. But I just want to say this, that I love everybody. I love, if you're not a believer, if you are a believer, if you are Muslim, if you are from Jewish, if you are from Hindi, if you are everything. Like, I don't care. I don't look at someone and think, oh, they're this, or I'm not going to be friends with them, I'm not going to like them. I just wanted to say that because sometimes people can think this. I love everybody, so I don't. I'm not also going to try. That's all I want to say is I love every race, every religion. So, I'm just a happy guy with lots of love and positivity to share. It's as simple as that. With that said, I actually do have to run because I am actually going to a church event now, funnily enough. So I do not want to miss it. My wife has already baked some wonderful cakes. So we're going to bring it along. We've got a little church group. And I'm going to go and celebrate Jesus and learn. That's my main thing I want to do now is learn a lot, to be honest with you. So, I will wrap up with my final thoughts here on Bitcoin. And that is, there is no weakness right now. Again, my friends, I say there is no weakness right now. I would really like to see two levels maintained. The first, $103,000. If we lose $103,000, that's not great. And even here locally, right, we can say 103,600. It would be really good to maintain that point of control as support now, to support another move to the upside. So my thoughts here are Bitcoin is looking good and strong right now. It has got no weakness, thus I am not shorting. I would open myself up to a short if there is some weakness. So that is one of two things, right? Option number one, we breach new highs above $106,000 and then we lose the range high and then we have kind of this failed auction type of setup, which can make its way down. Or alternatively, we see weakness locally. So we do not ever make it up to new highs, and we start to lose the point of control, right? We start to lose $103,000, and that's where I call it a reactive trade. I have to then see the weakness and wait for a lower term time frame short trade setup. So I miss the high. Okay, sometimes I will miss the high. I'm not perfect. I will miss the high, and upon seeing the weakness, I will not see the weakness and then be like, well, I've missed the high, so I'm going to miss the move all the way down to $90,000. No, I wouldn't do that. But let's say we come down and we get some weakness, and then there's a lower term time frame trade setup. Well, I'd look to take my short here, for example, right? Just because I missed the high doesn't mean I would miss the whole move to the downside. No, I would have to react, reevaluate the charts, and make a new informed decision based off the data I have. Again, I always make my decisions off the data I have. Right now, the data I have is bullish. So why would I short that, right? It doesn't make sense. But if there is a loss of market structure, if there is a loss of support, well, I will react to the new data, which would clearly show me there's something bearish. So I should react to that, right? I wouldn't just ignore new data and be like, hey, there's a massive sign of weakness. I'm just going to remain long and not look for any shorts. That's what you call being a perma bull, perma bear, just a bad trader. So yeah, that would be my opinion. I want to finally end here by just saying massive thank you to you all. I say it once, I say it again, like big shout out to you watching this video. If you are here watching this video, you're ahead of the rest of the competition. The majority of people are not wanting to learn. They're looking for the easy steps. They're looking for the signals. They're thinking, oh, if I can just get a signal, or if I can just get this. You are here. Maybe you are here looking for signals, because a lot of the champions that are now successful, they joined chart champions looking for signals. They quickly realized, wow, this is not a signals group. But instead of leaving, they decided, well, I'm going to try and educate myself. They took the education seriously. They studied. They've come out now very good, profitable traders. So I would just say that if you are here, you are on the right path. I am planting your seeds to the education required to be consistently profitable. I believe in what we do. I see the results that we reap for people. So yeah, I say it with a big, open, honest heart. Like, if you are looking for help, guidance, a community, support, Chart Champions is the place for you. You can join for free right now, the Discord. Discord.gg/chart champions. Come over and join the free section of the Discord. You can start to get the community. If you want, you can join Chart Champions, paid membership, where we got the contenders and the champions levels. Yeah, it really depends how serious. Depends how seriously you want to take all this, right? But if you are serious about this, then we are serious about helping you. So yeah, I will wrap it up by saying that. Once again, I just say thank you from my bottom of my heart. I share so much love and positivity because